Linda Sue and I began our conversation at a park near her home. My first question was about a single shard. How did she make it work?
Well, the idea for a single shard came out of the research I did for my first two books, Seesaw Girl and The Kite Fighters. And I had to look up a lot of stuff about Korean history because I didn't know it. And I was reading many of these big fat books on Korean history, and in all of them there would be just one or two lines that would say, in the 11th and 12th centuries, Korea was considered the best in the world at making pottery. And that intrigued me because I knew that China had invented the art of porcelain, and there they were, this great big huge country, and there was this little tiny obscure nothing country. And how did that little tiny country get better at pottery than the huge powerful neighbor? You know, how did they beat China at its own game? So I took a couple of notes on it and put it away while I finished the other two books, and when I was trying to think of an idea for my third book, I thought maybe I'll set it there. I wanted to know what was so special about Korean pottery at that time. Well, okay, so then I had my setting. It was going to be 12th century Korea, and it was going to be a potter's village. There is no bigger way or more significant way to be an outsider in Korea than to have no family. So, you know, if you want to, give your main character, a hill to climb, a challenge, this is the position that I was putting this child in. He was going to be an orphan with no family, which was going to allow me to explore the idea of family. In Korea, family means blood ties, blood relations. What happens if you don't have that? Can you still have family? So historical fiction lets me explore how a setting and a time were different, but how emotions are the same.
One of the moral dilemmas raised by a single shard has to do with stealing. I wanted to know what Linda Sue thought about this.
I think that ideas are different from things. And the short answer is no, I don't think it was stealing. Part of the story is that another potter, a man named Kang, invents a new technique for making the pottery especially beautiful, and in fact it does become one of the techniques for which Korean potters become renowned. He works on it in secret, and the main character, Tree Ear, stumbles across him as he's working. He spies on him as he's working on this technique. And Tree Ear wonders, can he tell his master about this? His master is a much more skilled potter than Kang is. And Tree Ear knows that if Min were to have this new technique, he could use it much more beautifully than Kang ever would. Can he tell Min about this new technique? If he does, is it stealing? And what he asks Crane Man is it stealing to take something that cannot be held in your hand? An idea, a technique. And Crane Man's answer to him is that if the person is keeping it a secret and thinks that no one else knows of it, then it would be stealing. But once the idea has been introduced to the world, it's not his alone anymore, and anyone can use it.